Hello, everybody. Give me just a second. I'm just gonna grab myself a little water, and then I'll be free to chat. Cool. I'll be right back, and we'll talk about that session, how I thought about it, or what I thought about it. Cool. Thank you for the soup, by the way. All right, cool. I changed my mind about the water. I had water for D&D time. Now I'm treating myself to a Wito soda. All right, cool. Let me quickly switch over here, and I should be here. Boo. Boo, 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 boo. Come on, where's my music? There you go. Oh. Hi, I'm zoomed in for some reason. Why? Okay, hi everybody. Hi. First of all, thank you, of course, for all of the gifted chips at the beginning of that stream and all the soup. D&D is already such a juggling act. I just could not even have the time to really address most of what was being said, but I did what I could where I could. So yeah, pretty fun. Thanks for 3 months, by the way, kid. Thank you for the soup. Ending the session by declaring them all D&D lost causes and canceling all future HOLOMARCHES content was wild. Yeah, that's done. That was a really cool move on my part, and it's you know, that's the end of HOLOMARCHES. No, I'm just kidding. Dust says, congrats on first session. All your hard work is coming to fruition. So many of us were so looking forward to this, and still are, so keep up the great work. And this was a blast. Can't wait for many more sessions to come. Atsu Stars, thank you, Dusk! Huntress Diana said, thank you for the best birthday treat ever. Can't wait for the next session. Hey, happy birthday and thank you. Altamelia said, that was a ton of fun. I can't wait for more sessions. Everyone was hilarious, and you were a fantastic DM. So nice seeing all your hard work pay off. Thank you. I try my best. Brand Flakes TM said, incredibly fun stream. Can't wait for session 2. Oh, it's coming. Don't you worry. I've got it cooking in my little brain. Alistair Jones says, thank you for the amazing first session. You're an incredible DM and all the hard work is paying off. Looking forward to future sessions. Thanks. I gotta try. Which session's gonna happen? 3 months. Oh my gosh. Yep, true. Thank you, Minty, for 10 months. And thank you for 3 months, Kit. And thank you for 10 months, T. I tried to make it entertaining. I do what I could. Chocobo Soldier, thank you for being an axle. And thank you, finally, Angel Avenger for 6 months and my first session. Congratulations! I did my best not to let them do that. Yeah, we're not going to let them sell people into DILF slavery or whatever. 6 months, Otzer, this is such a fun stream. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you, Honey Blue. Thank you for 3 months, Ophelia. Okay, so, cool. I do want to read the soups that I missed during the stream, so I'll probably do that at the end of this stream. But I do want to lead off with sort of talking a little bit about the stream itself and how I feel it went, and kind of the encounter that I designed, and how things did go how I expected and how things didn't go how I expected, and kind of the idea of like prepping a session 1 and how that's different from like a typical session or one shot, right? Pixie Buck, thank you! Also, Tofu Bunny Cat says, you did amazing for the first stream. I really enjoyed the chaos and reeling them in. You worked really hard. I can't wait to see more. And hopefully everyone gets to use their TTRPG, gets used to their TTRPG legs over time. I hope so. Thank you for 6 months of being a jackass, by the way. HOLOMARCHES! Thank you, Pinko-kun! Wicked Knight Albel says, you deserve a reward for managing to wrangle those lovable goobers. Oh my god. It is like holding 5 different fucking elephants on ropes, and I have to try and like pull them in the same direction somehow. Bubby Gator, thanks for 5 months. Yeah, many more to come. I hope so. Andy says, I cannot wait to hear about the challenge changes you're going to make based on day 1. Building a story together is the best part of D&D. Yeah, there's a couple things I want to change about the setup. Mostly, a little bit about how I control the music, because controlling music while controlling the switching character cards and scenes, and controlling all the NPCs in Roll20 and the character sheets and guiding them through using their character sheets and transferring their money and keeping track of initiative and stuff is definitely a little bit much at the moment, but I will find a way to get that settled. Whisper Rain says, it's also my birthday for the first session. And hey, happy birthday, Whisper Rain. Thank you for the soup. You're great at handling all the boys' chaos. Yeah, they did make me laugh a few times, which is really good. Mikari-chan says, I am so extremely happy and proud that all your hard work is being recognized. I'm trying. I do wish the first session had been a little more polished, but it is what it is. Also, props to you for trying so hard to die, but you stopped. Yeah, they wanted to die a lot. That's okay though. We guide these. Watson, can we also talk about how they exercise more caution going through blades of grass than when they got attacked by a goddamn dragon? I hope they never change. D&D. It's always like that. Saki Harino, thank you for 1 month, and thanks for the congrats. Baby Bat Monkey said, I'm so sad I missed most of the stream, but hella excited to get to watch the VOD. Congrats on the first session. Thank you. Okay, last one. The Nomad, thanks for 10 months, says, we're super excited for this. It was well worth the wait. Great work. Thank you. Okay. So, oh, damn it. Josephina, thank you for 8 months and for the congratulations and it was such a treat to watch how you created this world over the last 9 months. I can't wait to see where the story goes. Hell yeah. And Trekkie, thank you for 10 months as well. And being a jackass says, HOLOMARCHES was everything I dreamed it could be. I'm following every session of this campaign to see if these idiots survive or if any of their scams ever succeeds. This is what you get for telling them to roleplay mercenaries. True. Not that any of them are really doing the whole mercenary shtick necessarily, but we'll get there. Zuna says, excellent work hurting those cats, Mr. Ruze. There's a few soups and chips. Please don't feel like you read through all of them tonight. You have to read through all of them tonight? Oh, is there more than I'm thinking? Okay, maybe I'll read through them later. We'll see. All right, cool. So from here on out, let me talk a bit. So yeah, setting that up was a lot. I've been working on it for like non-stop for the last 48 hours. Unfortunately, things have just been kind of moving slow behind the scenes, and I've had to like wrangle everybody all at the same time, and sometimes it's hard to get a hold of them, and sometimes it's hard to get an answer on certain things, so it makes it slow for me to produce the graphics that I need to produce for the stream. But it is done, and I got it all done within the last 2 days, so that's great. I've got more things I kind of want to set up and a couple things I want to tweak, and setup just takes a little too long. I was able to get everybody together about 15 minutes ish before stream, but even then trying to get them into like their individual windows and get all the graphics set up and then get their character card set up for the ones who are going to be there and their little name tags and blah, 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 blah. And I have to set it up for 2 different scenes. It was definitely a bit of a brutal push, but god damn it, we did it. And I'm excited we did it. It didn't turn out as good as I wanted it. Not that it's bad. I'm not asking you to like fucking, oh no, it's great. It was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Don't do that. It didn't turn out as good as I wanted, but it was good. So that's good. I am happy with a lot of how it turned out. And a lot of like what, you know. Wow, thanks, Chaosaurus Rex. I'm happy with the vast majority of it. It just, there's polish I could do that I want to do. Yeah. Pretty cool though, pretty fun. A lot of things didn't go how I expected. I expected the dragon attack to be a little more, either I expected everybody to try and fight it and lose, or I expected everybody to run away. But for the party to kind of split up like that was pretty wild, I'm not gonna lie. And then the PvP immediately, and then the attacking the NPC, and I fully thought that Tenko was gonna die there, but didn't, so that's kind of funny. Super cool, super cool. I like when things like that happen naturally and there's emergent narrative, so hey, who knows, maybe we'll see Tenko again later. Maybe. Soundwave says this was 8 months or so of build-up. I was at every Imperium stream. I even considered calling out of work for this. It also showed my resistance to secondhand embarrassment is improved. Hell yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of the polish I need to make as a DM right now and content creator is understanding how to DM in a setting where not only am I juggling more than I'm used to because most of it's on the technology side, I need to get my sea legs with the boys and kind of figure out what makes them tick, you know, like kind of subtly and subconsciously guiding them to, you know, role play with each other in a way that's not super disruptive or like intrusive to each other. Which is also, I mean, obviously a lot of that's going to be them learning as they go and getting their sea legs for TTRPGs. But a lot of that is going to be me helping guide them in a way where they don't kind of try to fight each other or talk over each other or treat each other as enemies. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Eusphira Blochi says, congrats on session 1. Thank you for all the hard work you put into this. It was incredible to watch. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And thank you for 10 months, by the way. Yeah, there's a ton of work put into this. I'm excited to really dig into the actual lore. Now that I've got things kind of set up and I've set up a sort of hostile world, I'm excited for you guys to see what I've got planned for the future. I'm definitely tossing around a few ideas for session 2, which is going to feature the other party, of course. There's a few things I thought I wanted to do, but I might have a change of plans now that I've done session 1, so I might rewrite that entire session, which is fine. This is like the only time I'm ever going to have to do that, which is nice. It's always those first sessions, right, where you get the most anxiety and do the most writing. But once I get past these first hurdles, a lot of it's going to be improv from here on out, so it's going to be a lot less difficult, which is nice. Yeah, I think I need to get them sat down with more NPCs go. And thank you for the suit, by the way. I think right now they're definitely treating it very much like they're playing Skyrim or like an action RPG, and they're not treating it like they're talking to like people, right? Like, I think the most interactive they got was with that guard at the end, and it's only because he was in a position of sort of like authority to tell them to fuck off if they were being completely random and dumb. Which is good. I think Fleon really capitalized on that and kind of pulled it together a little bit. And I think the other boys will get that as they kind of play a little bit more and realize, okay, there's no like gaming this system. There's no like I crouch in front of him and I'm stealth and now I try to pick his pockets. I think as they start to realize it's a breathing world and people are going to react like they would in life, they'll get used to it a little bit. That's just part of like getting your sea legs in TTRPGs. Bunny Hugger says, that was awesome. You and the boys did an amazing job making it entertaining and an all-around fun experience. I'm going to listen to it and listen in and lurk while I start winding down for the night. Thanks, Bunny Hugger. Thank you for the soup. Regal Masquerade says, happy to hear. Best of luck for future prep work. Things were, there were things I would have done with Roll20, but I trust you to get what works for you. Let's go. Hell yeah. Thank you, Suku, Dana, for 10 months. Thank you. Fuyuki says, VOD gang for this one. And man, the things I heard about it has me intrigued. Congrats on session 1. Thank you. There's a lot of really funny moments. The boys were very funny in a lot of situations, which is great. I'm super happy for that. Ariki says, congrats on 1 session. Atsure-sama. Thank you, Ariki. Thank you for being exceptional for a whole 10 months. Ashley said, bravo for first marches. Hope to see more. I hope to see more too. Hell yeah. But yeah, the boys were really pushing it. They had a lot of really funny moments, which was great. I do like that they don't seem to be power gaming, really. Like, obviously, you know, some of them are doing their fighting, but some of them are, like, really just trying to sell their character. Like Fleon, you know, or Sarkinol in this case, you know, fucking just being kind of a fucking coward in combat. I mean, he strode into a fight, but as soon as the chips were down, he's dipping. He's abandoning his party, and I think that's kind of funny. Obviously, once we get a more structured system, and he's kind of, like, contractually bound to the party, I think that's gonna, we'll see how that kind of goes. I think Kristoff's play dead bit was really funny. I like that a lot. I thought it was funny that Gerard can't talk to anybody, but we'll see how that goes in the future. I'm pretty sure that Corvin understands Ronish, but I'm not 100% certain. I'll have to check. Hell yeah, now, I mean, thank you for 8 months. Arcade2 said, I put off dinner for a while because I didn't want to miss a minute of it. It was definitely worth it. Hell yeah, thank you. Kudadai Kosa says, congrats on wrangling cats for a few solid hours of gameplay. Eagerly waiting for the next one. You know what's wild is that combat encounter that I set up didn't go anything like I expected. So I designed it around the ecology of the blood harriers. And my mentality was that they're large birds that hunt in the tall grasses of the plains. And what they try to do is they try to flush out smaller prey, right? Like they run around, they try to be scary, and they try to flush smaller prey out. And I definitely thought the boys were going to back out. I did not expect the double one-shots on the big adult ones, which, yikes. That's D&D's luck for you. The best laid plans. But the idea was that once you leave the grass, then the birds, the big ones, the adults, have a charging pounce attack that allows them to attack you twice if they pin you down to the ground. That never happened. The boys just chose to fight blind in the grass, and that's fucking funny to me. What I forgot to do was give them all disadvantage in the tall grass, and I should have. It would have been very funny. But either way, that was goofy. That was fun. Ilona said, I've never played D&D because it always seemed overwhelming, but your passion makes it sound fun. It's not super duper hard, I promise. Especially if you're a player, it's pretty easy to pick up, and I would recommend trying it. Jack says, Christoph's bit where he rolled a nat 20 to play dead and keeps doing it like a possum whenever he senses danger was a stroke of genius. Hell yeah. I can't believe they never took 3 steps to the right to leave the grass. They went north. They went south. One of them went southeast a little bit. They never went straight east. Not one of them. Even though they were hugging the western border of the map. So in my mind, that's good game design, right? That's easy game design. You travel east if you're hugging the western border. They did not. I was super surprised. Danny says, it was crazy and funny. I'm so glad to see this wonderful project succeed because you really deserve it. Congrats for your great work. Job El Intentador said, it was a very fun first session. A nice introduction. Maybe I should recommend if you can set your screen without the fog of war. I don't know what SW you're using, but in some cases you can set fog of war only in players. It's also my birthday today. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! I can do that, but I wanted you to see the fog of war that I set up for the boys. I, in the future, might just use my own screen, though, because it's easier to navigate. The problem is I just don't want to spoil things for you guys, and I want you to feel the atmosphere, especially when we get into, like, dungeons and dungeon crawling and stuff. I want you guys to feel the atmosphere, that sort of claustrophobic vibe of having the fog of war, but we'll see. Dust says, quick question. Do you plan on making post-session Zatsu's regular thing? Or just these as the first few, the PCs and setting? I'm not going to promise that I'm going to do it after every session. I might do it after particularly big ones, or particularly big narrative beats, or big bad evil guy reveal type stuff, or, character arc moments. But I don't know how often I'm going to do them. I definitely don't think I would do them after every session. No. A magician never reveals all his tricks or whatever, so it's not good for me to just sit there and talk about how I designed every session. I mean, I guess it's good for you guys in a way, because it's like, cool, that's the fucking, now I know how the hot dog gets made. It's bad for you guys because you're like, now I know how the hot dog gets made, and there's no more wonder or excitement. Bimi Amelie, thank you for the soup, says, first HOLOMARCHES session, woo! Glad it went mostly smoothly. This made me much more interested in TTRPG, and I hope to get my own group going, but I definitely prefer to be a DM like you. You all did amazing. Thanks. And Dongo says, congrats on the first session. Because of you, I became more interested in D&D, and now I'm being dragged into 3 campaign. 3? God damn, you really jumped in both feet first. Let's go. I can actually pull up, hold on, let me see if I can grab the board for you guys and show you what I had going on. Thank you, Punya. Thank you for the 9 months, or 8 months, by the way. All right, let me go into my little DM-a-vision, and I'll show you what I kind of had going on here. I've also learned an important lesson about encounter balance. Let me turn off the fog of war real quick. I'm just going to get rid of the fog of war entirely. Okay, fog of war does not want to be revealed. That's fine. Then we won't turn off fog of war, and I will just deal with it. You're just gonna have to deal with it. I will give you a little treat here. I'll let you in on some of the ecology behind the creature I designed for them to fight, and a creature that I think is going to be somewhat of a staple here in the Plains biome that is outside of Gonzolin. How about that? How about that as a little tweed? Wow, that got massive. I don't know if that worked, but we're gonna go with it. All right, so I'm in the way. Sorry. You know what? That's not perfect. I don't care enough. Anyway, so this was the map that I had designed, and initially the plan when designing this was, okay, so I need to make plains interesting somehow. And I was like, what makes plains interesting? There's not a lot, as it turns out. There's no good, like, you know, geography to use. There's no good, like, threats or dangers to use. Maybe pitfalls if I want to be cheesy. So I decided to use very tall grass because it essentially functions as like a fog wall. So all of this blacked out area you see here was initially the very tall grass, and I started them to the closest point where they could exit the grass if they wanted to. It just didn't quite work out. The idea being that what I was going to have happen was these big birds were supposed to, you know, rush them out of the grass and then come charging after them and do a pounce attack. If they moved 20 feet in a straight line, which they were only going to do outside the grass, they were able to do a free claw attack. If that claw attack hit, they knocked the target prone and got a free beak attack, which is basically a one-shot. Very scary. So yes, the players definitely came out on top here, and they came out pretty well on top, but they could have had a very, very bad time. Pogger Real says, hey, Ruze, real quick question. Just wanted to say hi. It's really impressive that you managed to encourage us Ruzeters to be social without being parasocial. No matter how much it pisses you off, you're a good influence. Ew. That's not a question at all. You lied to me, but thank you for 10 months. Yeah. The idea in my head, right, was like, one player's going to run out of the grass. One of these is going to pursue them. And when that happens, they'll probably get one shot and knocked down. And then the other players are going to have to scramble to save them. Or that player's not going to die immediately and try to get back into the grass, which is funny. But if they managed to get here, they could have climbed up this ledge, and what that would allow them to do, they weren't supposed to have vision up there. Obviously, I have a one-way fog wall up there. So what they would do is they'd have to climb up this ledge or go around until they reached the walkway up. And they could use that as sort of a high ground because there's not enough room up here for the birds to charge no matter what. And they could have kept them in a choke point here. So that's kind of how I set up this map to have like some interesting battle terrain was, you know, all of this is like foggy and hard to fight in because it's super tall grass. This is super open and dangerous to be in, but if you can make it to this point, you're in a relatively safe spot, right? But that did not play out that way. It was just a very dark, very fucking hampered fight in tall grass, which I should have fucking known, and I should have played on the DM screen so you guys could just see what was going on. That's on me, but whatever, it's okay. But yeah, here's what the inside areas were meant to look like. That's not working? Okay, well, that's fine. Some of the lighting gets a little buggy sometimes, so no matter how much light you put down, it won't light it. I don't know why. Oh, I see what happened here. That's another part of no grass. So really, they could have just walked down here even. That's how easy this was. Like, they were fighting right here. They were this close to escape. They were this close to escape, but they never did it. They never did it. But anyway, to touch a little bit on these are called blood harriers, and oh, sorry, I wasn't showing you correctly. This is how easy it was for them to escape. There's actually, it's deceptively, like, only about a third of the map is taken up by the tall grass. I made this map, by the way, like the day before in Mappa Imperium, because I realized I don't have the rights to use any like public maps or purchase maps. I was like, oh fuck, I better hurry. So I figured out how to do that myself, and then quickly made this battle map. But hey, you know, the best laid encounters can only go so well. Unfortunately, it's really just down to what the players decide to do. And sometimes they don't do what you expect, and that's what it is. But I designed these birds called blood harriers, and the way they were... Oh. It's not showing you. Hold on. Is there a way for me to... One second, I'm sorry. Maybe if I do it like this. Oh. Okay. Oh no, it got squished. Ah, hold on. Wait, stop, wait. Hold on. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted to have happen, but you know what? That's fine. We'll do it this way. Boom. So that is a blood harrier, and blood harriers are interesting because they have a young form and an adult form. This adult form has the pounce mechanism that I gave them, and they're actually pretty strong, especially for a first level party. But the problem with first level gameplay is that it's kind of sink or swim, right? You either win or you lose pretty quick. And because they rolled so many massive blows, like, you know, fucking Goldie stepping out and immediately landing a hefty max damage fucking smite, just burning a spell slot and one-shotting the first bird was such a like, fuck, that changed the entire vibe of this encounter. And then fucking Gerard landing a critical rage battle axe max damage fucking hit and one-shotting the second one. I was like, okay, nice. I thought these things were definitely gonna hold up in combat for like, you know, 3 or 4 turns. That did not happen. But like I was saying, oh, hold on. Momoika says, can she come on here so and help you out with all the small technical stuff like keeping track of gold, initiative order, etc.? Any other plans to make shorts, animated shorts, or of the funny moments? So no, Shikamane cannot help me out with that. That is entirely back end. That is my job. This is a project by me for me. All of it has been done by me. Really, I'm kind of just alone in the dark here with this one. Cover has more or less no influence over this. Though it was very nice of them to tweet about my waiting room. That was cool. Didn't expect that. But this has been entirely done, you know, on my end, which is fine. DM's negative luck makes for good player luck. It's true. My negative luck will always make my best laid plans go south. But the way these birds work basically is they hunt in the tall grass. They're very, very fast across open plains. But what they do is they flush small creatures out of the tall grass, and then they rush them down in the open plain and kill them and eat them. They're kind of like velociraptors in that way. It is very rare that people are able to tame them as mounts. It's mostly just in legend or people that are exceptional like animal handlers. And even the most tame of them are still very dangerous. It's like, you know, wolves in a wolf sanctuary. They're still mostly wild animals. Like, yeah, you can ride them into combat, but they're not like so tame they won't eat you if you fall off type of deal, right? Random X Lotto says, congrats on the first session, Ruze. The first session is always rough, so don't stress too much about it. Can't wait for the next session. Hell yeah. I'm very excited for it. But anyway, I'm excited to see how, you know, these things fit into the sort of ecosystem that I like designing. I do already have an idea for sort of an apex predator of this area, Monster Hunter style, and a couple indigenous creatures. I wanted to take the time to do a bit more sort of exposition. Not long-winded exposition, but just kind of set the scene with, like, you know, small creatures, like little bugs and stuff that were unique to the area. But honestly, time was already running on pretty hard, and some scenes really drug, and I was struggling to, like, kind of move it along, which is on me as a DM. I just need to be a little bit more, I need to be a little bit more clever with how I push scenes along sometimes. Yeah, I look forward to kind of sliding more, you know, natural stuff into the world, natural life and stuff like that. How many birds were there? A lot. There ended up being 7 babies and 2 adults. Though one of the babies died immediately, so I spawned another one. That's a little DM trick. The one that got the battle axe to the back of that, or the throwing axe, I mean, I just grabbed another one. I know you said sessions are going to be scheduled organically, but do you know roughly how frequently sessions will be? Like once every month or two? The Freaky Fish 251, at most, if the boys are interested enough and eager enough, it will be once every probably 2 weeks. That is as many as I am able to prep for in a reasonable time while still keeping a streaming thing going and fulfilling my duties to the government, which I am way behind on because I've been focusing so much on this for the last 48 hours. And really that relies on whether or not the boys are willing to schedule things with each other, which I have, it's hard. Scheduling is hard. So like no hate on them, obviously, but it's hard to get a hold of everybody. I mean, I couldn't get everybody in to set up like where our models were positioned on screen and give everybody control of their characters and their character sheets that I had written up for them until literally like 20 minutes before the stream. So things are tough to schedule. Like everybody's got a lot going on with this kind of work. So if they're able to schedule it, probably once every 2 weeks, but realistically, I don't know, maybe once a month. Maybe once every 2 months. Once I get past these first 2 sessions, I am washing my hands of scheduling. I'm done with scheduling. It is holo marches to the max. If not enough people are interested or want to schedule things, that's fine. I'll just start inviting more people. Shrug. I forgot if I mentioned it, or if you mentioned it before, but are you doing milestone or XP? Milestone. XP is just too annoying to track, and I am currently keeping track of everything, but as they get used to the system, and as they get used to Roll20, I am, of course, going to have them track their own initiative, I'm going to have them track their own gold, and I'm going to have them track their own HP, because right now, I am doing that for them, and I don't want to do that, so. How many more do you want to play? Right now, none. Because that's more than enough to wrangle. But once it gets down to scheduling, it really depends on how many people are interested. Like if 2 people are like super gung-ho and always wanting to schedule things and nobody wants to like tag along or they're too busy, then more until that stops happening. Roll20 has an initiative tracker built in. Oh, does it? Yeah, I'll have to do some Roll20 research myself. I'm using the newest version of Roll20, which is called, I don't remember what it's called, like Springboard or some shit like that. It's a not brand new, but it's a new version of Roll20 with apparently better optimization. So I'm curious about checking that out as I go forward. There's no clock icon on the left side of my screen. Oh, there's a turn order button, though. Cool. Understood. Soundwave says, my anxiousness as a DM pulls a complete opposite direction. An encounter like that in my mind says, oh, this is going to obliterate them. Better nerf. I did nerf it. It was a little tougher than this originally, but I have learned my lesson. I'm going to make encounters even harder. But thank you for the soup, Soundwave. Miss Unstable says, first session was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm sure they will get even better as you all find your footing. Definitely worth being awake for even as a user. Also, yay, 6 months. Thank you for 6 months of being a Jack X. Yeah, so I'm gonna make combat harder, and I want to squeeze in more combat, but I really wanted a segment with some sort of travel in it, and I wanted the little bit of exposition at the beginning. The idea with the exposition at the beginning was to give them a little bit of room to role play, but honestly, I think if I did this again, I would start with combat. Leading in Raw Dog with roleplay is hard for players to kind of shake that lead off, and it seemed like they were pretty hesitant to kind of engage in that. I should have led off with combat first, I think, to kind of get them in the mindset, and then roleplayed afterwards. Am I shocked no one died this time around? Not really, because I pulled my punches pretty hard, which is, I think that's fair for session 1. I'm not going to do that going forward, but I'm not going to fucking drop a blue dragon on them and have them start killing people. Like, that would be pretty shitty. Also, as you learn more about that character, which I'm not going to tell you, you'll understand why that character didn't kill them. Ding. I don't know, Gerard and Flayon went RP instantly. True. Flayon jumped on it quick. Flayon was fast to jump on it. And Gerard was pretty quick too, in Gerard's defense. That's true, actually. He does speak a lot of nonsense, but I think that's just Gerard talking faster than he thinks. That's just Gerardisms. Thank you for the 5 gifted chips, you! Oh, true, Kyo the Lore Breaker. You caught me. Is there any way I could talk to the government about merch for HOLOMARCHES logos? Maybe, but it would be months of work. That kind of shit takes forever. Maybe. Maybe's the answer. And also, right now, the government has, like, as far as I know, negative interest in this project, and that's fine. It's my pet project for me, and that's okay. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're warming up to it. They did, you know, retweet the waiting room. That's pretty cool. Can funny moments be turned into animated shorts in the future? By you guys. Clip what you like. Make sure you propagate it. Try to get it around. Maybe an animator will grab it. But, like, would Cover do that? I don't think so. I highly doubt it. Yeah, that was a lot of people, which was definitely nerve-wracking, and I feel kind of bad it wasn't as polished as I was hoping it would be, but that's okay. That's okay. Hell yeah, Lane. Thank you for 10 months, by the way. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that happened this session that I was, like, kind of surprised by or something that I didn't expect to go. I didn't expect them to just walk through the storm, and I kept pulling my fucking punches. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was like, oh, if they go through this storm, I'm going to give them a level of exhaustion. And I was like, man, maybe that's too much because I know they're coming up on this combat encounter. And then I was like, oh, if they're in this tall grass, I should make them have disadvantage for the whole fight. And I was like, man, maybe, oh shit, get out of here, Flayon. You can't know that I'm pulling my punches. I won't do it in the future, I promise. Ignore that right now. Mihawk, thank you for the 5 chips. Also, thanks, Flayon. Incredible roleplay. Chef's kiss, well done. Yeah, it is okay to pull punches when they're punching each other. True. Also, big shout out to Flayon for doing a lizard man voice. You absolutely did not have to do that, but Flayon's been kind of talking to me behind the scenes, like, okay, so, like, how does the lizard man voice sound? I'm like, oh, you know, like, kind of guttural, growly, not like orcish, and they don't use bilabials, so they don't make, like, B or P or V sounds, which is kind of funny to have a name Prophets, but I think that's even funnier because I'm like, typically they don't use that in their language, so that's just solid. Yeah, the VA, chef's kiss, chef's kiss. Yeah, I was shocked too. I didn't hear his character voice until the session itself. Do you have a fear that could happen in the sessions? Not about the production, but in-game. What? What do you mean by that, Job? Also, thank you for the delicious soup. The movie's tomorrow. Flayon's character, Prophets, is actually going to be played by Taylor Swift. Oh, do I have a concern or a fear moving forward? Oh, if they do something that ends in a wipe. No, I don't care. They can wipe. That'd be funny. Be fucked up, but it'd be funny. Server Day Q says, going in blinds never felt so good. You put in a crazy huge amount of work. Can't wait to see these future sessions where all the boys settle in. Stars-EN truly has no healer with all those nat 1s, but they make up for it with the max luck cinematic 20s. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Thank you so much for the Magenta Soup Server Day. Or Daycuse, which is fun fact, by the way. If anybody's wondering, all of those NPCs at the beginning, also named for axe holes. Every NPC, every town, every city, every god, every country has been named after an axe hole on the Wheel of Axholes, and we just so happened to roll Server Daycuse for the planet itself, so the planet is called Daycuse, or Daycus, D-A-E-C-U-S. So yeah, Wheel of Axholes, baby. Any idea for streamlining the language barriers among the party? It's led to great RP, but tough on you sometimes for time constraints. So, bing, bang, boom, I think, do you want me to be frank with you? the language barrier wouldn't be a problem if people remembered what languages they had, which is on me for asking too much of them, I guess. But also people need to be checked in and not looking at Twitter. But my solution going forward is to have somebody learn Ronish or have Gerard's character learn Fiozen at some point. Am I going to give them a universal magic, language magic item? Maybe. I haven't decided yet. I think it kind of kills the point of having language barriers at all. But on the other hand, it does slow down gameplay, and sometimes you gotta have fun over, believability. I did like the what is he saying bit, but I'm pretty fucking sure. Actually, let me check now because I still have it open. I'm gonna check if Corvin knows Ron. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh, okay. My bad. Wait, who knows Ronish? Was it just Bodvar? Guess so. Yeah, I think maybe I should have talked to Gerard a little bit more about how to like role play without using words. I think Gerard has a habit of like just trying to like gush out a ton of words, but I'm like, oh, well, Gerard, they don't understand you. So like maybe describe how you move your body instead. But it's hard to think. This isn't like an indictment of Gerard. It's hard to think in that sort of theoretical space of like, okay, let me put myself in this character's head and like, how would I move my body and how do I describe that? That's a lot of work, like that's difficult to visualize and even more difficult to communicate. And I don't blame him for that. That's difficult. Seabrill says, I'm so happy I was able to watch Session 1 live. Watching everyone play makes me excited for my campaign next week. Fuck yeah, Seabrill. Thank you for 5 months. That'd be kind of funny. That'd be kind of funny. Are you going to maintain the EXP cap like D&D or change it? There's no EXP cap as far as I'm concerned. But if you mean like, am I going to keep a max level? Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Muse. Ilona says, maybe just always assume everything is translated when GB is around, but have the language barrier come back whenever Gerard is left alone with the others. Yeah, I think that might be the safest bet, because having a second person have to say what he says can be funny if that player wants to take advantage of that and use it for roleplay opportunities, but if it becomes a burden and it's just that player repeating what was said, that doesn't work as well. And that's one of the things I'm definitely taking note of from this session. I think in the right hands, that would be something to use as a roleplay tool. But because Goldie's also relatively new to this, I think it's definitely more of a burden to him. And I don't want to put that on him. So I think it might be the scenario where if Goldie's around or anybody else who speaks Ronish is around, it's just they probably auto-translate unless they say otherwise. What was the fear you gave to Bettel? Dragon phobia, I think, is what I'm going to hand him. Will you give EXP for RP as well as battles? Might curb murderous habits. There's no EXP being given out at all. It is entirely milestone, so they don't get anything for killing things other than what they can loot off the things they kill, and the threat of they themselves being killed. However, Murderous habits aren't bad because a lot of this campaign is still going to be out in the wilderness, out in the wild, dealing with true monsters that cannot be reasoned with or leveled with. Also, I forgot that fucking Sarkinol had his speak with No, I didn't. Never mind. I roleplayed that right. I was like, did I forget Sarkinol had speak with animals on? But I remember. Can they level up? Maybe. I haven't decided yet. Godwin did understand the other players' languages, but could not speak it. If we were to submit monster ideas, do you want us to provide a stat block as well, or just a concept? Probably either or, but I reserve the right to edit stat blocks in case I feel like it's unusably like powerful, or maybe I want to give it a special ability or something based on the lore you give it, etc., etc. But either or is fine. Hell yeah, sleep well. Good luck. You got one right in Fiozen? Sure. Why not? Full respect to the boys, but do you think we're dealing with it's not my turn time for Twitter? In too big a group, that is always going to happen. So maybe. I don't know. It's possible. Could Sarkinol have talked their way out of it if they had not killed the first chick? Yes, actually. So Sarkinol, fun fact, we forgot to pick spells for Sarkinol for some of Sarkinol's stuff, and I grabbed Speak with Animals knowing this encounter was coming up, and I'm glad that Flayon found it, but the first chick was already killed by Godwin. I grabbed Speak with Animals and kind of tossed it on Flayon's character sheet for him, and I'm glad Flayon saw it and wanted to use it. It's just at that point, like, you know, the mom's hovering over you, its baby's dead. Like, you gotta imagine this like you're talking to a person, and if its their child has an axe sticking out of their head and is laying at your feet, I don't think they're gonna talk much. Like, there's just no way to kind of negotiate out of that. I will try my best, Dusk, but they are at the room on those cards is at an incredible premium as is. How do you manage whenever the party doesn't let your NPC talk a word? Well, Fire Any, if they're talking to each other, I just let them talk. I think that's an important lesson for me as a DM, and something I'm just trying to be better about, and something I want to facilitate as much as I can. If they're just going to keep talking, I want them to just keep talking. I want that. That's good. If the players want to roleplay with each other, that's ideal. That being said, some people are bad at taking turns, and some people overtalk other people, both the players and the NPCs, and that can be a little annoying. But I let them, you know, get their interjection out, and then I, you know, if the interjection contributes to the conversation in some way or moves the roleplay forward, I accept it, and if it doesn't, I basically act like it never happened. Hey, thanks for 5 months eating Mike Tyson's ass! Sumi Gumi, holy shit, thank you for the cream zupa. Congrats on the first session. It's so great to finally see this come to fruition. There's so much hard work that was put in. Thank you for the soup. Man, I'm excited for session 2 too, because there's a little bit more. I kind of stuck a lot of the quieter players together in session 2, and I'm curious to see how that goes. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, because I know that 2 of them are pretty into the role play as well, so we'll see. Thank you, by the way, for the cream zupa, Sumi Gumi! But yeah, basically what I mean by that, when I say that, like, how do I deal with players over talking my NPCs, is I let them, if they're going to debate back and forth with each other, and if they don't, like, let me talk at all, eventually I'll just kind of move the scene along. I'll find a way to have the NPC interject, or I'll say something happens, etc., etc. It's only a problem when I'm truly, genuinely ignored, which only happened 1 or 2 times that session. And then I just repeat what I said until it happens. Yeah, I might replace the battle map Watt on the talking screen, because that's almost all theater of the mind. I think I'm going to replace the battle map with a rolling box elongated. Like I said, a couple things I want to fix for sure. It's still me, Miss Mercury. Are you sure? I'm just rebranding. Congrats on launching HOLOMARCHES. Thank you, Mayari! Can I say Mayari Mercurial? Okay, never mind. I'm just going to say Mayari. Thank you. Maybe, Klooch, maybe. Thank you, thank you. UBCell says, nice session one, Ruze. I'm a new D&D player myself. I learned a lot from this session. Looking forward to the next session. Yay! I have had a monologue, in a moment where a dude shanks a monologuing villain. Most of my encounter designs for boss fights account for, you know, sort of out-of-turn actions or legendary actions, whatever you want to call them, or reactions that could be used in ways to kind of prevent that. But sometimes it's going to happen. Sometimes you want to give them that. Sometimes it's fun. Thank you for the soup, Yubi. Holy shit. Iwashi, thank you for 10 months. Atsu for the fun session. Incredible job, Wranglers. Chaotic group together. It's a great feeling watching the world you created the past 8 months becoming a reality. This is the one time instead of that's my Yoshi, I'll say, that's the guy I adopted. Thank you for the glucose card ahead. Congratulations, so proud of you. All the best for future prep. Thank you. Thank you. I can't wait to really dig into the lore that we've got going on here. Obviously, we're just scratching the surface a little bit, but you know, I got a little bit in here and there. I got a little talking done. I'm excited to introduce the city of Gonzalin, but that probably won't happen until session 3. We will see. Soundwave says, are you going to build future encounters around the player styles they develop or around what they are capable of? If that makes sense, always. Yes, I always build encounters around the players if I can help it. Sometimes, though, some encounters just, like, for example, I really wanted a random animal encounter in this one. So I built some animals. But the animals themselves are never going to have super duper ridiculously interesting battle tactics because it's not like they can wield a crossbow or throw a spell, right? I mean, the more fanciful or fantasy core you get with animals, the more they can do that kind of stuff. But at least at low levels, it's probably basically like they get attacked by wolves. So the interest in that case doesn't come from the encounter itself, but from how I lay out the map for the encounter to make the battle interesting, right? Which, theoretically, this had the potential to be interesting. I did not expect them to hold their ground and just fight in the long grass the whole time. But it is what it is. Yeah. Very funny. I also did not expect them to just kind of abandon each other. Like, nobody really went to anybody's aid for the most part. It was just a lot of like, oh, okay, Sarkanal's out there. Good luck. And then, like, Sarkanal retreats and leaves, you know, Corvin out there. And it's like, oh, Corvin's out there. Good luck. And that's kind of funny. I was like, damn, they really don't give a fuck. I in my mind, right, I was like, oh, once they start, like, wading through this long grass and it's hard to see what's going on, they're going to be like, oh, we better get over there and help each other. I'm like, damn, they didn't do that shit at all. Fuck. They don't care. Yeah, characters didn't have connections yet. My fault. I did not account for that designing this encounter. That's on me. Either way, though, I had a ton of fun with it, and I think that's really what counts. I enjoyed this session. It was a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, I'm always going to have things I felt like I could have done better as a DM, or I could have designed better to, like, account for decisions the players make. But it's never, I'm never going to be able to perfect that, right? Like, it's never going to go exactly how I want it to go, because that would be railroading, and I don't want that. I want them to be able to, you know, play the game how they want to play the game. It's time to play the game. Ha ha ha! It's time to play the game! But I've learned a couple important lessons, and I think what I would do, if I were to redo this session, one thing I would do is I would shorten the dragon encounter and maybe have it happen even faster. I was trying to get kind of fancy with it and find a good way to introduce the player characters and have them, like, lead in immediately, like, on the ground level and, like, do roleplay by having an NPC kind of, like, you know, toss them the ball. You know what I mean? Like, kind of hand the ball off to them for them to, like, participate. But I think that is the type of thing that really only works with players who have played a lot of tabletop role-playing games. I should probably have just been a little more blunt and a little more forward and be like, hey, describe your character and, like, what you're doing, you know, with this caravan. Do you have a dragon token for them to look at? Nope. I did not want to give a visual representation of the dragon, because I want artists to be allowed to do that how they want. Because dragons in the newest edition actually got a redesign. and I like them, but a lot of people like old dragons, and a lot of people don't want to look at D&D's dragon design, just design their own dragon. I mean, I already took some creative liberty and said they have midnight blue scales, because typically blue dragons have like really azure, like crayon blue, but I like midnight blue. Killogs, thank you for 10 months of being a jackass. Congrats on the successful session 1. Looking forward to session 2. I thought they were gonna party wipe, but they pulled some they really did pulled some god rolls in the end. Happy 10 months. Thanks. Oh. Heck yes, thank you for being here. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, I thought my prose around the dragon was pretty alright. I am attached to Corvin now. Please do not kill him. He must have plot armor. Okay, no problem. I'm gonna definitely keep Corvin safe no matter what. He's a sweet little innocent baby who's never done anything wrong. I'm killing him. I'm killing him in the very next session you're in. He's going down. It's over for him, dude. He's gonna get in a wizard battle. Corvin, his baby must protect. Corvin was the only team player. Yeah, somehow Corvin ended up being the healer despite being a fucking wizard. But to Sarkinal's credit, he did hand out some potions for a lot of gold, like way too much gold, but he did hand out some potions. So, you know. Vishy Fish, thanks for being a Ruzader. How many gold did he get, or did he profits? A lot. He got 10, and then 15, and then 15. I think he started the session at like 45 and ended it at 75 or 80. So he almost doubled his money. Syke says, congrats on the first session, Ruze. It was a fun ride for real. I'm so excited to see future ones. Thank you for the soup. Man, what would I do different if I had redone this? Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would keep the dragon encounter shorter. I might even, honestly, I tried to get too fancy with the opening. I would probably open with the dragon encounter. Like, I would do the sort of like scene setting, describe like sort of the continent and thing like that, and the threats to the east and the north and the west and the south, and then I would probably just immediately describe like the cart kind of, the caravan kind of rolling along, and then boom, dragon encounter, just to kind of get you right in it. And then I would still keep the travel segment and the weather. I would probably make the weather a little more punishing and maybe have a fun. So my ideal situation here, right? Flayon says, I like when you said that while you're staring idly by, the chicken was running away already. Hell yeah. So it forces us to choose sooner. Yeah, I need to force your guys' hand faster. Can't let you guys debate too much, unfortunately. Because sometimes that could slow down gameplay, and we want, we got to keep it fast-paced, got to keep it entertaining, obviously, for the viewers. Aside from that, my ideal travel scenario, right, is to treat it like roleplay. And what I mean when I say that is that I feel travel is underused in D&D because people don't treat the environment like a character, and the environment is a character, right? So as much as someone would try to roleplay with an NPC or a guard, I want them to try to roleplay with the environment, right? So like, instead of just being like, you make a survival check and you make it, I want to like present a problem like, oncoming storm, and then I ask them what they do. Kind of like they'd be like, I want to try and deceive them, or I want to like do an insight check. It's like, oh, okay, can I do like an investigation and see if there's a cave nearby, or can I use my perception to see if I can scan the horizon for any sort of like shelters, or like at least determine how long the storm will take to get there, stuff like that. I want them to role play with the environment is the goal, and I will probably try to talk to them about that, but I got to get time behind the scenes to get that done. Understandable, Vishy Fish, and I'm sorry it ended up being too expensive, and thank you for the delicious soup. Had this chip instead. Yum! Yeah, it was a ton of fun. Yeah. They did roleplay with the grass! I cannot believe how hard they were fighting that grass, dude. They were fighting that grass. And honestly, they could have gone around it. It would have been about a half-day's journey to the north, which would be very annoying, and they would run out of supplies, and they'd have to hunt something, but they could have gone around it. It was definitely much faster to just cut through, and I'm kind of glad they did, because I was like, oh man, we got to get through this session. Gosh says, congrats on HOLOMARCHES. I haven't watched it yet since I'm at work, but I'm so excited to watch the whole thing. Once again, congrats. Thank you for 7 months, and thank you for the congratulations. So yeah, that's what I would change. I might also slide in a second combat encounter. I think I definitely shine at creating like good combat encounters that are pretty interesting. And I think to hook players in session 1, you need to get to the combat just a little bit faster. And that's a lesson for session 2 and session 3. So that's on me. Optimal characters need to eat. I am not doing any sort of like careful tracking. I have 1 day per ration. That's it. That's what I'm tracking. I'm not doing like a 3-course meal. I'm not doing a, oh, well, how many proteins did you intake? It's you buy rations. That is an item. It's very abstract. It's very much like a ration per day. Rations is assuming also water or ale or something to drink. It is just whatever you need to consume to survive is 1 ration for a day. Tenko is not the right spelling. It's Tenko, but you're close. Am I tracking spell components? So I haven't decided, if I'm being honest with you. I should be, but I haven't decided. Also, I'm glad I got to use Bane or Boon. I want to try to use that 1 or 2 times, maybe more per session. I think that's fun to let you guys kind of decide if something goes good or bad for the players. Obviously, it was relatively minor this time, but hey, good boon. At least they got those potions, because they may have just absolutely fucking beefed it once they got to that combat encounter without it. Any big no-nos as a DM? I'm not gonna roleplay anything sexual because I'm lazy and I don't want to do it. But you can do that as a player. You can be like, oh yeah, can I like seduce the guard? I'm like, yeah, and then we cut to black on that scene, and you know what happened. Moving on. Those birds scary. Yeah. They played bait so the other bird siblings could attack. Yeah, one of them was fucking with you so the others could get you from the side. Ah! Other than that, my big no-nos are treating NPCs as if they are Skyrim characters or like quest givers. When I say that, what I mean when I say that is that I like my NPCs to behave like people in a living, breathing world, so they are going to act like people in a living, breathing world. So if somebody thinks they can just stroll up and, I don't know, like punch an NPC for funsies, there will be consequences, obviously. And also, this extends to enemies. You know, like, not every battle is a battle to the death. Not every fight should be winnable. Not every humanoid enemy is going to fight you until they die. Like, if they see their buddy Eric, you know, get disemboweled, and some dude tears his intestines out and, like, fucking wears them as a scarf, he's probably going to run, unless he really loves his buddy Eric. Et cetera, et cetera. Moonshiro says, so after the second session, the boys are basically free to decide what they do. How much story and thought are you going to put into intertwined story stuff? I'm assuming plenty, but it's interesting to me. So the way I'm going to intertwine story is I have a quest board behind the scenes that I'm going to let them pick between, and those quests all tie to one relevant overarching narrative in some way. I'm not going to say how or which quest tie to what, and sometimes it might surprise you which ones are tying to which factions or NPCs or big bad evil guys, of which there are many. But all quests somehow tie back into multiple overarching narratives. Right. Teeth says, thanks for a great session 1. You and the Ruze's passion for D&D has me getting back into the DMC. Yes! DMC. Should be running stuff for the Corruption's Call in a session. Ooh, let's go, Teeth. Hey, thank you for 10 months and good luck with Corruption's Call. Let me know how it goes. I have heard of World of Darkness. Yes. I am not much for the whole, like, you know, Vampire the Masquerade setting. It seems interesting, but 9 times out of 10, it's an excuse for goth people to ERP. No, I'm sure it can be really cool, actually. It's just, it's not my aesthetic for the most part. I would definitely want to try it. I want to try most TTRPG settings. The problem is, I just really haven't, I haven't found DMs I've really enjoyed. And honestly, I rarely find DMs at all. Like, I can't find a DM I like who runs D&D. How am I going to find a DM I like who runs World of Darkness or Call of Cthulhu or Pathfinder? Because I want to play all of those things. And a lot of other things. I want to play Starfinder. Hey, if you ever want to do a Call of Cthulhu one-shot, play on. I'm just saying. Invite me. Invite me, please. I feel like Call of Cthulhu is uniquely suited to one-shots because of the grim, dark energy in it, and you're kind of expected that, like, either you all die or you succeed, and that's kind of just how that goes. You're just dealing with that kind of creature. Almost forgot. Stream 1 of Vast Universe for Monster Girl tier list. Never. Thank you for the soup. It's time to play the game. It's time to play the game. True. Well, I think that's all I really wanted to talk about. I've answered a lot of good questions. I think I caught up on all the soup and chips from this stream. I know I have a ton I missed from the last stream, but I am definitely getting burnt at both ends right now. I've been up working on this for so many hours in a row. It's been my last 2 days pretty much nonstop. And I'm glad I got to talk about what I would do different. I think really what I'm taking away from this is that there's a couple changes I want to make on my end to streamline things and make things look a little better. But I had fun. I'm glad we finally got session 1 out of the way. I'm just glad it's a reality and it's finally on the ground and I can start kicking off and actually moving forward with this stuff. And scheduling's a fucking nightmare, and I never want to handle that again. Those are the lessons I've taken away from this. I really enjoyed this session. The boys did great, especially the boys who are brand new to role-playing. Holy shit, congratulations, well done. If I could get, like, a standing ovation for those dudes, like, fuck yeah, man. They tried, talk about, like, jumping in with both feet. Avaris, 4 months being an asshole, says congrats on session 1, not section 1. We are not sectioning this off. Congrats on section 1. It was incredibly entertaining and well worth all the preparations. Excited for the future campaigns. Thank you for 4 months. Whoa, Rosary, holy shit. Thank you for the Crimzupa. Said your creativity and hard work can be felt in each and every detail of the project. It was a blast, and you all did it super good, and the overall result was hilarious. Super excited for the future and more episodes to come. Congrats on the first sesh. Fantastic job, nerd. Thank you. Iwashi, thank you for the soup as well. Thank you for the chip sandwich. Melty, Axel of 10 months says thanks for the stream. Session 1 was so much fun. Fuck yeah, gamers. All right, that's it for me. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much to the boys for tagging along. Thank you for, hanging out and playing and having a good time with us. Thank you guys for watching. It was a lot of fun. Next one will be even better, and I'll just keep honing it as I go. Silent Eric says, I'm happy to see everyone enjoy the game. Good job, DM. Looking forward to more. Yay! All right, gamers, that's it for me. Bye! I'm going to rage into Shinri, who I believe is playing Silent Hill, I have to imagine. I am going to go, eat cold pizza and think about what I want to do for session 2! Get excited! Tomorrow, I'll be playing the Windblown Early Access. I am super duper excited for that. It's going to be a super cute game. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I forgot what time it is, but, keep an eye out for that, because it's definitely at a time. Okay, it's at 9 p.m. EST, so our usual, U.S. audience type of streaming time. Cool? Cool. All right, gamers, I am out of here. There are spoilers for Silent Hill 2 Remake up ahead. Be careful. That's all for me. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the soup. Thank you for the kind comments. I can't wait to see you guys next time. Woo!